everybody, and welcome to Cooking Adventures with Katie, season 2.5. Let's get healthy. Work edition. Yeah. So today is Friday, and today I am fasting. And if this video ends up being upside down, I'm trying. I'm trying to figure out which way my phone likes to film. So yeah. Anyway, so I took a couple of notes, and on my fasting day, which is twice a week, and I need to get more tea. I'm going to talk about green tea and the benefits of it, but also the benefits of intermittent fasting. I'm going to start with the intermittent fasting part, I think, because down at the very, very end of that whole section, I'm going to be like, here's a tip, drink lots of water, or black coffee, or tea, and everybody's going to be like, what can I drink? Well, water, which is plain, and coffee, which has a variety of flavors, and tea, which has a variety of flavors. And then I'm going to go into green tea and why it's the best thing for you when you're fasting. So without further ado, I'm going to fill up my green tea, start another batch in the coffee pot, and yes, green tea in a coffee pot. Hey yo! And then we'll get started. Alright, so. Oh, and it's Casual Friday, so yeah. So what is intermittent fasting? Well, intermittent fasting is an eating pattern where one cycles between eating and not eating. And so what happens and why should you do it? Well, there's a lot of benefits to it. But there are also some warnings too. So like if you are prone to eating disorders, or trying to get pregnant, or you're underweight, you probably should not intermittent fast. But the benefits of it. So so blood insulin levels will drop significantly, which can facilitate fat burning. Your blood levels of HGH, or the human growth hormone, may increase as much as 5-fold. And a higher HGH level facilitates fat burning and muscle gain, among other things. Those other things include cellular repair, which removes natural waste, which removes waste material from cells, and may help provide protection against several diseases like Alzheimer's and cancers, and that is called autophagy. Intermittent fasting also, when taking chemotherapy, can help reduce various side effects of those chemotherapy. Beneficial changes in genes and molecular expressions, leading to longevity and protection against other diseases. So not just cancer and neurological things, it's other diseases as well. Generally speaking, you will eat fewer meals, and unless you compensate for the lost calories, you will take in fewer. Now, as I said in a previous video, calories don't matter, but since we are in the society that we are where we count calories, I'm going to talk about things in terms of calories. So it enhances hormone function and to facilitate weight loss through lower insulin, higher HGH, and increased norepinephrine. Short-term fasting increases your metabolic rate by 3 to 14%, helping one to burn even more calories, and according to a study, can increase. Now, this is just one study that I saw, so I don't know if it's been, reiterated or things like that, or recreated. But according to this particular study, intermittent fasting can increase weight loss from 3 to 8% over 3 to 24 weeks. And those people lost 4 to 7% of their waist circumference, meaning the visceral fat, bad fat that is stored in your stomach, they lost an extra 4 to 7% because they were fasting as well as probably dieting and exercising as well. So people who have the same diet, some fasting on some days and some not. The fasting people, their metabolic rate rose, and their weight loss rose over over 3 to 24 weeks, and lost their waist circumference, lost more waist circumference than the ones who were not fasting. So even though these are small numbers, 3 to 8 extra percent of weight loss over 3 to 24 weeks is a lot. That's a lot. Fasting blood sugar in this study was reduced by 3 to 6%, and insulin levels were reduced by 20 to 31%. And it also protects against kidney damage in animal studies. Now, if when you fast, your blood sugar is reduced by 3 to 6%, and your insulin levels reduced by 20 to 31%, that means it reduces your insulin resistance and your blood sugar levels to drastically help prevent type 2 diabetes, and can help prevent the kidney damage that is the most severe complication, or one of the most severe complications of diabetes. So by fasting, and type 2 diabetes is kind of big in the States nowadays, so by intermittent fasting, you're reducing your chance of getting type 2 diabetes, as well as, if you have it, you can reduce the amount of insulin shots you need to take. But then again, I don't know a lot about diabetes at all. So, yes. So that. Now, it can help enhance your resistance to oxidative stress, so free radicals and inflammation. Now, free radicals are, so your body processes things, like, say, I'm drinking this tea, or I'm eating something, or something. When your body processes the food you eat, or whatever you drink, the byproduct of your body working are free radicals and oxidization. So oxidization, think of like an avocado. When you have an avocado and you cut it open, it's bright and green and nice and pretty and yellowy and kind of just nice looking. But then the longer you let it sit out, the brown and nasty more it looks. It's kind of like that within our bodies. Higher oxidization levels mean we are more likely to get age spots, and we will get older faster. So to prevent the free radicals and oxidization process within our body, we want antioxidants, because antioxygen and oxygen being the main part. So when you intermittent fast, it helps reduce, or it helps enhance your body's resistance to the stress from the oxidization process, and it helps reduce inflammation. It improves numerous risk factors, including blood pressure and bad cholesterol. It increases growth of nerve cells in the brain, which improves brain function. And also, this is something I put a couple explanation points next to because it's important. It also increases the brain hormone, BDNF, which stands for brain-derived neurotrophic factor. Now, BDNF has been is a thing that where a deficiency of it has been linked to depression. So when you have more of it, you are less likely to get depressed and be anxious, so anxiety, and it helps with depression and other brain problems. So if depression is a problem, you might want to consider intermittent fasting. It can delay the onset of and reduce the risk and severity of Alzheimer's disease. Now, in animal studies, rats that fasted every other day lived 83% longer than those that didn't. So those things, what does fasting do and why should you do it? Because it's good for you, because all of these benefits come from just cutting some meals out. Now, how should you go about it? Well, to each his own. Fasting is considered 12 or more hours of non-eating, with 16 hours being the average. I've seen some fasting set a caloric limit on your fasting day, depending on how you go about it. And fasting is more of an eating pattern and less of a diet, so if you're deciding to fast occasionally, then I would recommend you tell your peers that it is a eating pattern and not a diet. When I was younger, I went to the alternate day fasting method, so I would eat on Monday but not on Tuesday, and then yes on Wednesday and no on Thursday, and go like that. Well, I had some people that were like, okay, and then other people were like, okay, and then I went out to eat one day with a friend of mine at the time, and she was like, you're gonna eat. I said, no, it's my off day, I'll be good with water. She's like, no, you're gonna eat. I said, no, I'm not, and I'm not hungry as is. And she's like, no, screw you, you're going to eat. And she ordered me food, and I'm like, well, then get me one with vegetables then, because I'm not gonna eat anything else. So she got me a vegetarian plate, and it was okay. So yeah, and this was when I was in high school and all these things. So now I know that this is actually healthy for you, and screw you. So yes, so hey, life goes on. But to each his own. It is an eating pattern, not a diet. So instead of being like, oh, it's the every other day diet, it's no, I'm fasting every other day to improve my health. But when you do eat, you want to eat healthy, especially if you're eating every other day. There are 3 popular methods, with the 16-8 method being the most popular and easiest to follow. And basically that's 16 hours of fasting with 8 hours of eating. People generally do this the older you get, so some say you eat dinner at 9 and then you go to bed and you sleep until like 12 or 1, and then you get up and you eat because you're hungry. Technically speaking, you just pulled a 16-hour fast. And that's really just, you only eat from 1 in the afternoon to 9 in the evening. That's 8 hours, and you don't eat between those hours, or before or after those hours. Then there's also the eat, stop, eat method, which is what I'm doing. Fasting for 24 hours once or twice a week. Like, say I ate dinner at about 9 o'clock last night, and the last food that I ate was 9 o'clock last night. I had leftovers and then made snacks. That fell within the low calorie, low carb area, which there will be a video on because snacks. So last thing I ate was at like 9 o'clock last night, and so I'm not going to eat anything until either 9 o'clock tonight or tomorrow for breakfast. So there's that. And then there's the 5-2 method, where you eat 5 days and then on 2 non-consecutive days, so like Sunday and Wednesday, you eat 500 or less calories. Now, like I said, 16-8 is the most popular and easiest to stick to. Generally, that's the pattern that a lot of high schoolers, college kids take in the late teens, 20s area. That's generally what that age range does. Now there's also the alternative day method, which I mentioned earlier, eating every other day. But back to the original point of this whole thing, to each his own. If you're going to do it the way you want to, but be healthy about it. So tips: water, and you can also have black coffee, or if you have to put something in it, you can put some milk, but just a little bit, because the more milk you add, the more calories, and you don't really want calories. Or you can have unsweetened tea, which is green tea, in my opinion. I'll also drink unsweetened black tea, which is what the typical person will drink in the general day. And living here in the South, everybody's like, unsweet tea, that's sacrilege. What are you talking about? You need diabetes in your tea. Um, so, yeah. So unsweetened tea and black coffee and water are your 3 drinks that you can have. Now, that being said, coffee comes in many flavors and styles, and you can have a light brew coffee or a dark brew coffee, and the light brew has more caffeine versus the dark brew, and you can have chocolate with your coffee, or chocolate flavors in your coffee, and you can have earthy tones and fruity tones and things like that. Me personal, I like dark coffee and I like green tea. Now, that's the first tip. Second tip is start slow and eat slow. So if you're just doing this, then go into it slowly. Start with the 16-8 method. Do it a couple days a week. See how you like it, and if it's something that you think you can stick to it. If you want to do the eat, stop, eat, start with 1 day and stick to it, and start with 1 day a week for a couple of weeks. Add 2, maybe add a third if you want. Eventually I will be getting to the every other day thing like I want to do, but right now I'm just doing 2 days a week. So when you do eat on your on days, you got different people that'll say different things. Some people will say your fasting period and your eating period, or your fasting time and your eating time, and me personally, I don't like when people say eating period or eating time, or feeding time is what some people will say, or feeding period, and it makes me kind of feel like an animal, but I'm not an animal. So I will say my on days when I eat and my off days when I fast. So for me, it's on and off days. So on your on days, when you eat, you want to make sure your foods are healthy, high fiber, high protein, and high healthy fats. And those will make it easier for you to last through that day. Also, doing the low carb thing, what I'm doing is on my night before I fast, I have a higher carby food. So last night I had little leftover baked ratatouille on top of some leftover red beans and rice from earlier in the week. Now it was more rice than beans because that's how boyfriend made it, but there was also the vegetables that were put on top, which made it a bit healthier, and so I'm going through the day, and it's 1 o'clock, and I'm on my second cup of green tea, and I'm only moderately hungry, but come 9 or 10 o'clock, I'm gonna have a snack, and then I'm gonna go to bed. Now, with vitamins, supplements, you may have them if you desire them. They do help, but do be careful with your vitamins because some of them are better taken with food. So maybe take a supplement like the night before. Now, if you are working out and fasting, be careful. Be very careful. So today, because I thought I had to work all day today, but I don't, I'm just going to continue with my fast. But because I do not have to work, I'm going to work out today. So I am fasting and doing intense 30-minute death cardio. We'll see how it goes. But like I said, we're going into green tea now. Now, green tea is good for you as a whole. There's different types of tea. There's green tea, white tea, black tea, oolong tea, and there's another panpas chang tea, something that I never heard of until I read an article on it the other day while doing research for this, and was like, oh, that's interesting. But there's different types of teas, and with each tea is a different flavor, and with each flavor you've got other things that you can add to it. Like, I've had a tea that tasted like Fireball, like straight up cinnamon. I was like, huh. I'm not getting drunk right now, I do not need to drink cinnamon. But so you've got such a wide variety of flavors, it doesn't necessarily have to be just plain old plain tea. Alright, so you can go to a tea shop. Now, the one that I'm most familiar with is Teavana because I haven't found any other tea shops. So if you go to a tea shop, you can go and be like, look, here's kind of the flavor that I'm looking for, and they can either blend teas to make that flavor, or they have one, or things like that. Now, green teas in particular are the healthiest. They have a high concentration of EGCG, which helps against free radicals that contribute to cancer, heart disease, and clogged arteries. A study showed that adults who drank 5 or more cups of green tea daily were at a 26% lower risk for heart attack or stroke. A different study showed significant wider arteries versus coffee, helping lower the risk in heart disease. Now, EGCG is an antioxidant, and it is, the full name of it is epigallocatechin gallate. Yeah. Now, the EGCG can also hinder bacterial growth, which can help keep you from getting sick. Other antioxidants found in green tea interfere with bladder, breast, lung, stomach, pancreatic, and colorectal cancers by activating our detox enzyme that help hinder tumor growth. So that's a whole lot of different cancers that it can help prevent. It helps prevent the clogging of arteries, helps burn fat, and helps counteract oxidative stress in the brain. Oxidative stress being free radicals, and clogging arteries being atherosclerosis is something that it can help prevent. It can reduce the risk of neurological disorders like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's, and it can also help reduce the risk of stroke. It improves your cholesterol levels, so drinking up to 10 cups a day offers major improvements on cholesterol levels. Now, 10 cups of tea is a lot, particularly if you're not too fond of the taste, but I know people that'll drink 20 and 30 cups of sweet tea a day, and all I can sit there and think is, God, the sugar. I've never really been fond of sweet tea. It's kind of, I always thought it was a waste of fridge space, and then I started drinking, and then I had unsweet tea, and then they gradually started adding sugar to it, and so now I drink sweet tea occasionally, but not anymore, because I do sometimes. Not every now and then. Or not all the time, though, just every now and then. So anyway, it improves your green tea improves your neurological function for better processing and memory. Now, a study in Switzerland showed an increase in connectivity in memory portions of the brain with an MRI. Green tea will help you burn fat, and drinking green tea 30 minutes before your workout will increase your fat burn by 38%. Research in mice showed drinking tea and exercise caused 38% belly fat. Or less belly fat. For best results, homebrew your tea. Don't drink it in a bottle, because the bottled green tea will have like sugars and things in it to make it taste better, and preservation material, whereas if you brew your tea at home, it's better all around. There is also matcha tea, which is a ceremonial Japanese green tea, and to be quite honest with you, it tastes like seaweed. I enjoy it cold. Warm, not so much. Warm tea, I prefer jasmine green tea. Now, catechins in green tea will kill bacteria and inhibit viruses, as well as prevent cavities and tooth decay. Helps reduce bacteria and acid in your mouth, and it also aids in gum disease because it reduces inflammation. It reduces enamel loss and slows the progression of oral cancers. Now, bad breath causing bacteria is one of those bacteria that green tea fights and can help prevent. So green tea has also been used as a medicine for thousands of years, particularly in China and the Asian region over that way. Due to differences in processing and the avoidance of fermentation, green tea between green and black tea, green tea is able to maintain a maximum amount of antioxidants and polyphenols compared to black tea. The amino acid theanine is found in green tea naturally, and it is thought to be a relaxant and help with depression and anxiety by increasing alpha waves in the brain without drowsiness. Antioxidants are heard a bit about, and as are free radicals. Like I said earlier, free radicals are byproducts of our working bodies and can contribute to things like age spots and aging through oxidation. So antioxidants help prevent that, or not prevent it, but reduce the stress from it, and so slow it down. Green tea helps prevent the breakdown of collagen as well, and keeps us looking younger, so have that young glow and last longer. But really, that's this episode. It's a whole lot of not cooking, but a whole lot of healthy learning, and yep. So, drink your green tea, because it's good for you. And if you so desire, you may intermittent fast. That is how I do my intermittent fasting. It's 2 days a week, where I don't eat anything. So I might eat tonight at like 9 because that was the last time that I ate last night. Or I might just wait until tomorrow and have something tomorrow. But in the end, since my first video, I've been doing this, and that video was 2 or 3 days ago, we'll say I did that video on Tuesday. My first fasting was Monday. So since Monday last week, and today's Friday, not last week, Monday this week, today is Friday, I went from 52.8 pounds, and I'm at 49.2, or 149, 152.8 to 149.2. So, and that's just in, the last couple of days that I've lost that weight. And all I've done is cut carbs and cut sugar, and 2 days a week I fast. That's really it. So, if you think that's something that you're up to, go for it. If not, take baby steps here and there. 1 glass of water in the morning, 1 glass of water at night. So 2 a day. If you don't like water, drink it early, get it out of the way. Begin the hydration process. Hydration is important. And just take baby steps. Slowly take out meat, slowly add in vegetables. Rice. Slowly take out rice, slowly add in vegetables. Slowly take out your noodles, slowly add in vegetables. Yeah. So with that being said, this has been Cooking Adventures with Katie, season 2.5. Let's get healthy on intermittent fasting and green tea. So, without further ado, I'll see y'all tomorrow when I cook something. And yeah. Happy cooking, happy healthy adventures.